Hello everyone, my name is Danish Mahmood and this is assignment 2 of Intro to Game Development, where we have to implement different features. The first feature was a multiple ball feature, which you will see in a second. The second feature was to implement the pedal shrinkage and the expansion, and the third was to implement a lock key and the lock brick. So as you can see, here is the double wall, that we get the double wall, and and as well the pedal got expanded because we reached a certain score. And so that's it. If I lose on purpose, you will see that the pedal will shrink as well. So for the first task, we have just generated the power up quads, and it is pretty simple because the power up starts from 0, and after doing a little bit of mathematics we come up that the y is 192, and here we are just like clipping the quad and returning it. Then onto the power up class, we have an initialization function. We have just like set the x of the power up to the brick axis and brick y, so that it will always get the position of the brick. And the width and height is 16, and probability of power up is basically which power up to spawn. Basically there are 10 different power ups, and then the speed, and here we're just like making the power up go down. And this is just a simple AABB collision to detect whether we are collided with the pedal. And in the rendering, we are rendering the specific power up, and +8 because we want the power up to be spawned from the center of the brick. And in the play state, we can see here we have the power probability to be 100%, and we are making sure if the make new power up is true, and the probability is between 1 and 70, then make a new power up between 1 and 10, that is any power up between 1 and 10, because for this demo we only have like 2 power ups for like the multiple balls as well as the key power up. So we are just making sure that both of them are true, and if we have already selected the key, then do nothing. If we are, then there is no meaning to have another key, and otherwise just spawn the power up. If we go a little bit down, so if the rendering of power up is true and if the power up is beyond the screen, then just disable it, and if it collides with the pedal, then disable it and spawn 2 new balls if the power up is the multiple ball. Otherwise make the key variable to be true. And the ball creation, so before we only have a single object for the ball, but now I have changed it to have a table so that we can have multiple balls onto the screen at the same time. So here we have just created ball +1 variable, and we are randomly giving the ball a skin, and we are resetting the balls to the pedals, and then we are giving them a random velocity. So that's how we did the first task. For the second task, if I go here, so you can say that if the score is greater than the pedal recover at this time is 1000, then increase the pedal size and change its width, and again multiply with 2 so that the next time it will be a multiple of 2, that is first the 1000, then the 2000 and 4000, and that's it. And for the reduction, I have a condition right around here. So if like all the balls are below the screen, that all the balls are out of the screen, and the pedal size is greater than 1, then just reduce the pedal size and change its width. So that's how we did the second task. For the third task, I have just clipped the variable lock screen variable from there, and the level maker, I have created another table which is just making sure which index to spawn the lock brick. And here this condition is just making sure, only one lock brick will spawn at a time, and if it is true, then make its tier to be -1 so that it will be easy to remove it and just insert into the table. And if we go into the Breakout Lua, we can see if the tier is -1, and if the lock key variable is 1, then just remove it. That's how we did it. Thank you.